And so one of the things I liked about the Power to Change is it's not just, hey, here are all the answers on how to change. Groeschel uses himself as an example over and over and over again, saying, hey, I did these, I tried these habits such as journaling, and it just flat out didn't work for me. But then he also said, hey, then I changed it and I moved toward, I think it was like his third iteration of trying to journal, and he ended up like, I just needed to journal 5 sentences a day. And that worked.
Yeah.
And so I loved how, even in our personal application, we all need to have habits. And whether you're like, I don't need habits, well, then your not habits are your habits. But I love how he applies that throughout the book. And he gives us an example in his life. Because I'm able to do these small habits, from flossing his teeth in the morning to very short journaling to having a group of key friends that he has that helps hold him accountable. It has helped change. And he didn't talk about his life as pastor too much, but it obviously has, because he is, at least on the outside, remained very, very faithful as a leader.
Yeah. And I would say, I think the core, if I was going to boil down like the core fundamental pieces from a life perspective, it's one, the habits are not, do not stand alone, right? It's a reflection of your identity. And there's also an intentionality, right? To your point. I know a lot of people, and I maybe not get super personal right now, but those who people are in my life, very close people, who they have habits. They're not healthy ones. Right. And so just because you have habits, just because you're consistent, just because you're consistently boring, and just because you're consistently emotionally negligent to those around you, doesn't mean that you're going to have success. Right. And so I like not just the consistency in the habits, but what's behind it, I think, is an intentionality, right? Living in a life of intention. And I think that's really meaningful from a life application perspective for this book and this concept.